Hey everybody. I hope I am feeling a little better. Actually I am feeling slightly better than I have been. I got really sick um Thursday night after I finished up. Sorry, had to adjust my camera a little bit. After I got through with the second Twin Peaks stream. I was feeling great during the stream. But sometime after I got off that stream, got to feeling really, really dizzy. I had a low blood sugar and I was able to get the blood sugar to come up. And so then I fixed myself a little bowl of spaghetti and I was bringing it in to the living room and I had sit down and I was letting it cool a little bit before I ate it. So then I got really, really dizzy and sweaty and stuff, and it was unlike the low blood sugars. I get sweaty with the low blood sugars too. Hey Texas, hey Rooster. Um, but my stomach started really hurting, and I actually thought I was going to be sick. And I just had to lay there and let my stomach settle. I just had to lay down on the couch. So I'm feeling better than that, but then I have just been totally wiped out for about really, really wiped out for a couple of weeks now. Um, and some of it's due to poor Brandon, bless his heart, not sleeping well and stuff like that. And me constantly battling to make sure that he's not bumping around and waking Steve up. And I'm in no way, shape, or form blaming this on Steve. But everybody's got to get their sleep. But unfortunately, that means I'm not hardly getting any sleep. And so I think it's finally, taking its toll on me. So, um, I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing a lot better now. Um, and Steve is going to take me out for lunch tomorrow, um, sometime after we do the Eurocult podcast tomorrow. Uh, and he's going to take me out to the Mexican place not far from the house, and I'm going to get my favorite chicken tortilla soup. So that'll be one meal I won't have to worry about fixing up. So Steve's been real good. I guess maybe he's noticed that it's taking its toll on me. And so that's about my health. So before I lose any more people, it seems I've lost one or two. I'm just talking about this. And again, it could be people that are just drive by people that are looking for something good to watch. And this doesn't look interesting. And so they just go on past. Okay. So a Monday night, I I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing anything tomorrow night. I may try to do an early Sunday night trash. It just depends on how I'm feeling tomorrow. But Monday, um, Curly Jaws has asked me to be on an interview type of podcast that he's doing, and he said he'd like me to be a guest. So the plan is for me to be on there Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you guys be on the lookout for that. Upcoming on the 19th, I believe, which is next Wednesday. Um, I'm kind of doing a little bit of promotion for me, a little bit of promotion for the Dead Pit Boys. Um, but I am going to be doing a history of Evil Dead on home video. I want to say Garrett's going to be on there, but I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure that CK and Uncle Bill are going to be on there, and we're going to be talking about the history of Evil Dead on home video. So CK's telling me to bring all my, find all my stuff. And there's a few things I couldn't find. I don't know what I have done with them actually. Um, but I found most of my stuff, so I'll be able to show that on the stream. Hey, Blissful. Let's see. And I probably will try to finish up the original Twin Peaks series streams um, Thursday. Uh, I'm not sure if Uncle Bill's going to be able to be on there with me or not. He was on the last one with me. He was a little bit late, but he was still on there, and we had a good time. Um, so we'll just have to kind of wait and see on that. But I am planning on finishing that up, including talking about Fire Walk with Me, which I have to date not watched, but I definitely want to. And and then I'll probably maybe wait a week or something and then try and give myself some time to watch or rewatch the third season that was on a Showtime originally. But I just bought that set, so I have that now. And let's see, doing the thing with old Curly Jaws Monday. I'm Tuesday, of course. Kelly and I will, barring anything going on, we'll be doing the Hitchcock stream. This will probably be the final Hitchcock stream, barring anything happening. So I got that coming up. Wednesday, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything or not. I'm thinking that I got to give TJ another week before he'll be ready to start those monsters streams, and he's going to be joining me for those, of course, when we do those, just like we did with the Tales from the Dark Side streams. Got all that coming up. A little reminder, of course, before we get into this watch along, of the upcoming watch alongs. So April 22nd, next Saturday, will be He Knows You're Alone. April 29th, House on Sorority Row. May 6th, Death Ship. May 7th, which is a Sunday, so you will have a double watch along weekend. May 7th is going to be Graduation Day. May 13th is The Prowler. May 20th, Eyes of a Stranger. And May 27th, Happy Birthday to Me. And I think I'm going to start off adding one for June 3rd, Saturday, June 3rd and 4th. We're going to have a double watch along weekend that weekend. So we're going to have Killer Workout on June 3rd, and June 4th will be Death Ball. So, get your leg warmers and your favorite 80s aerobic wear out, and we'll be all ready to go, because talk about cheesy. These things are cheesy, but they're fun. Both Killer Workout and Death Ball. And Killer Workout was done by Ted Pryor. I mean, not Ted Pryor. Ted Pryor, his brother, was in it. But David Pryor. Sorry about that. So, I don't know what I put out there. I meant to write Death Ball down. I don't know what in the world I was thinking of there. But anyway. So, got that all lined up for the watch alongs, at least up until the first weekend of June. So, let's talk a little bit about the movie that's going to be the watch along for tonight. This is an Italian movie from 1988, Ghosthouse. And if you guys have watched this before or know anything about it, the director is listed I believe, as Hubert Humphrey. But I do believe that that is a pseudonym for, I wanted to say it was Umberto Lindsay, but I could be wrong on that. So let's just look that up because hopefully there is a Ghost House movie with Scout Taylor Compton, but thank God we're not watching that one tonight. Yes, Umberto Lindsay was actually the director, and Humphrey Humbert, that was the pseudonym that was used. But Umberto Lindsay was actually the the director of this. Okay, so basic plot of this: visions of a deceased girl and her doll bring doom to the visitors of a deserted house, and that's about as cut and dried as you can get with this. Um, if you have not seen this movie, in my opinion, you're in for a real treat. Because I heard somebody was had done a podcast at some point in time, and they were basically talking about, they were calling Ghost House a terrible Italian movie. Um, and they said, how did this terrible Italian movie get called Evil Dead 3? Not only has it been called Evil Dead 3, but it's been called House, and I forget what the number is after it, as well as other various titles. And so I thought that was a little harsh. A little harsh. I don't think it's a terrible film. Is it the greatest film out there? No, I'm not gonna lie. And it's cheesy and got bad acting and bad dubbing and all that good stuff. But that's why we're doing a watch along on it, because that's mainly what you do watch alongs for, is or commentary or riff tracks type of commentaries over, is films that are not great movies, okay? But yeah, this is a fun one though. And I have my I have my movie theater popcorn, my Orville Redenbacher's ready. I have my sour watermelon ghost energy drink, and I'm all ready to go. So I hope you guys are ready to go. And as always, like I always say, if you want to join in on the stream at any point in time, with the exception of like the last few seconds or a minute of a movie, all you got to do is say, hey, Dana, I want to join in. I have a link to the movie on YouTube. I also have a link in the chat to join me live on the stream. Um, so, anybody comes in here later, if I don't see that somebody has said, hey, Dana, I want to join in live, if somebody could tell me, because I will be periodically switching back and forth from the movie to the chat, to actually check and see what people are saying. Blissful says, now I want cheese. Texas says cheese popcorn. Actually, mine's movie theater, but cheese popcorn sounds good as well. Ooh, nachos. Nachos sounds delicious, Blissful. To be totally honest with you. I need to get some stuff together to make some homemade nachos here sometime soon. So, how many of you guys are going to be watching the movie along with me tonight? So I just wanted to know when everybody was ready. If you're using the YouTube link, if you need me to repost anything, please let me know. Bruce, you say, I find Italian films interesting that they do not record sound on set. They add it later. Yeah, I always found that interesting too, and was kind of shocked when I first found out about that. I hope you guys don't mind my popcorn bag rattling. You know what I actually might do? to give y'all some more time to get ready, I'll go get my popcorn bucket so I won't be rattling this bag around so much. I think I've showed this popcorn bucket before that I've used during streams. Hey, old curly jaws. Rooster, you say, I'm a sugar junkie, chocolate. Rooster, you're queued up. All right. So, to give, yes, I have popcorn on Curly Jaws, movie theater, Orville Redenbacher's popcorn. Now, I have one of those small, I think I've mentioned this before too. I have one of those small, like tabletop popcorn poppers that look like the retro ones, like old fashioned ones at the movie theater, only smaller. But I need to get some more. I need to get some more coconut oil, or is it coconut oil? I don't know. It's some of that special oil that they recommend that you use in these popcorn poppers to make the popcorn taste like movie theater popcorn. But the big thing about that is not only do I pop it in that, but I also put Flavacol on it. And Flavacol is really the key ingredient. I'll be honest with you. That's what you said. I know what you mean. They are so cute. And they are. As well as these. Like I said, these are the plastic ones that I got. I think I got like 2 or 3 of the plastic ones. And then I got some old, they look like the old-fashioned red restaurant Coca-Cola cups. I've got those. I've got like a Coca-Cola like tin container that's got some straws in it. It's like those old-fashioned paper straws. It's not like the plastic straws we have now. And I use those from time to time as well. But yeah, if you really want popcorn that tastes like movie theater popcorn without being at the movies, here's how you do it. You get one of those retro popcorn poppers. You get you some, I think it's Snappy's like coconut oil, and you get the Flavacol. Don't forget the Flavacol. And you can get a carton of it or, a bigger size of it. I believe at Amazon. I think that's where I got mine. Yeah, exactly. Instead of a coffee bar, I have a popcorn bar. Yes. Yes, I do. I don't know what I'm going to do with my popcorn popper when Steve breaks down this bar in here to make room for my pantry. But, he's been promising me for years I'm going to get a pantry. Because I just don't have, even with the bar, I don't have a lot of counter space. And I don't have a lot of cabinet space, storage space in my kitchen. So, and our kitchen is like itty bitty. So not a lot of room in it. And also, the other reason we want to take the bar down is because Steve has never had an actual kitchen table in the kitchen, ever. because there mainly wasn't room. But he says if we take the bar out, we should have room for a kitchen table. You think that's what he thought, Uncle Bill? He thought you said panties and not pantries. But so he said, would you like mine? I need a step stool and keep falling into it. Oh my goodness, that sounds dangerous. Um, if we had a way to get it to me, I would love it. I would love it, Blissful. So, Uncle Bill, you got anything else going on? You want to join me on this watch along? We should be done pretty early. We get started here in a little bit. Or, you know, Blissful, Rooster, Old Curly Jaws, Texas, anybody? I'm going to start saying Bueller here in a second. Because I'll be totally honest with you guys. These watch alongs are a lot more fun when I've got at least one other person on here with me. But the more the merrier, as Darren always says. But we'll probably go ahead and get started about 7:30. So again, I have the link to the movie on YouTube. So Uncle Bill, don't be using that as an excuse that you don't have access to a movie. And I also have a link to join me live on the stream. Those things can be copied back in there. If need be, just let me know, guys. And we're going to get started, like I said, in about 5 minutes. Oh, I'm sure you're not short and klutzy, Blissful. And even if you're a shorter person, that doesn't mean you're klutzy. Now, me, I'm klutzy. No wonder I don't trip over my own 2 feet. So, anybody got, while we're, waiting for a few minutes, does anybody have anything interesting they want to bring up? Come on, Uncle Bill. You can get in live on this watch along with me. I think you owe me because you were a little bit late to the Twin Peaks stream. Unless you've got other engagements that will tie you up. No takers? So how many people are watching this along with me other than Rooster? Blissful, Texas, Old Curly Jaws. Are y'all watching along? See, this is the way I do it at the movies, the way I eat popcorn. I just eat it so fast. There's usually so many trailers and advertisements and all that jazz at the movies anymore that I have half of my popcorn eat before the movie even starts. So Texas, you say you'll have it on? Yeah, okay, cool. What about everybody else? We got 5 people in here. Uncle Bill's being strangely quiet now. I'm guessing he only came in here to say that Steve thought I said panties and not pantries. Let's see. Oh, look and see. Yeah. Well, there's a horror roundtable at Deadhead, but that isn't until the 16th, so Uncle Bill has no excuse that I can see. He does not. Yeah, Rooster. I mean, I feel you, buddy. You say just like stuff like you, Dana. Sore tooth, bummed out about my doggy. I have hypoglycemia attacks. They wipe me out. Yeah, those wipe me out too. Um, but this is the extra sickness that I got Thursday evening or Thursday night rather. Um, seemed to be unrelated to the low blood sugar, so I don't know what it was exactly. But yeah, um, you'll be in my thoughts and prayers, Rooster. Anybody that's had a loss with their puppy dogs or any other animals, cats, dogs, lizards, rats, you know, birds, guinea pigs, snakes, they're all little creatures to me. Yeah. Um, but so you say I'll try. I have extra anxiety tonight. I feel you, Blissful. Um, yeah, it does look like UB did a drive-by Rooster. He just came by to say that and then he left. Um, perhaps he'll come back. I know Uncle Bill's a busy man, but it is now 7:31, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the 3, 2, 1, and we'll get started with this lovely movie. Uh, so I've got mine all queued up on YouTube because, like I say, I am lazy and don't like to drag out my copies of these movies if I don't have to. It's just easier to do it this way. So, and easier to give you guys a link. So, let's do 3, 2, 1, get this party started. So, 3, 2, 1, press play. So, we've got the Film Mirage presents Ghosthouse. And if I am remembering right, and maybe I'm not, that this may be the same house that was used on House by the Cemetery, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I'm sure I'll be wrong many, many more times after that. Yeah, Rooster, I understand about anxiety. Anxiety's a bitch. Um, so the other thing about this movie was I remember first watching this in my video rental days and looking on the back of it and seeing a couple of the kills. Now, it's not directed by Humphrey Humbert. It is Umberto Lenzi, guys. Uh, and I was like, these are really cool looking kill shots. And so I was so excited. But the truth of the matter was, for many, many years, this movie was so dark that you could not hardly see what was happening, especially in these opening shots where it's dark inside the house. But Henrietta, I think it's Henriette. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it's Henrietta. Okay, so there is unfortunately, a dead cat there, which is sort of gruesome, and I didn't really need to see that, and probably you guys didn't need to see that either. Um, but this is Henrietta's dad, okay, and she has evidently killed the family cat with a pair of scissors, and he's like, why would you do this to one of God's creatures? But this is a creepy ass little girl who is very messed up. And I'm not sure for sure if she was always messed up like this or messed up like this after her father, who I think it turns out that he is a mortician or something like that. And he had taken this creepy ass clown doll from, I guess, a dead child. And here she's going to pull this thing out. I mean, this is freaking scary. And somebody said it was similar to 1982's Poltergeist, which with the clown, which there was another creepy ass clown doll in Poltergeist. So they were saying it was closer to Poltergeist than it was either Evil Dead or the House movies. But this, thankfully, on YouTube is a pretty decent copy. I also have a Blu-ray that has Witchery, a movie with Linda Blair on it, and it has this. Now we're gonna see some pretty weird ass stuff here shortly. So it looks like the light bulb is like kind of swelling, and that is similar to the Evil Dead movie. For those of you that have seen the Evil Dead, you know what I'm talking about. There's a scene where the light bulb does kind of like that. And I believe on Evil Dead, whenever it explodes, blood comes out everywhere. Okay, so now you're seeing a hand with a hatchet. And these are in particular are the kill scenes that I was referring to when I said you could hardly see what was going on. So we definitely see that he just got axed in the head. Now his wife has just seen what has happened to her husband, and she's horrified. This what's going to happen to her here in a second was actually, this kill was visible on the back of the VHS tapes. It was one of the cool looking kills, and I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to see this. So we've got an exploding mirror, which has injured her but not killed her. And here comes the hand with a knife. Okay, this is this front shot here in a second. This here is what was shown on the back of the VHS boxes back in the day. Now it's 20 years later. Um, Richie said, I think that was the house from the other movie. I'm happy it is a different movie. Texas, you want to know the timestamp? The timestamp is 6 minutes and 55 seconds in. So this guy here, who's taking a call from his girlfriend, is, I guess, like a ham radio enthusiast guy. And this is going to come into play soon. Man, I thought I muted that person. Remember that person that I told you guys I felt like it was trolling because they were telling me that I needed to remove my hat when I was broadcasting because you couldn't see my emotions and stuff like that. And they're commenting again, and I thought I muted them, and I thought when you muted them, they couldn't comment anymore. But maybe that's just on one video or the other. I don't know. But I wish they would quit commenting. I really don't care. They don't need to get, full emotions from me. The only reason I'm on camera, like I said before, is to make these things more personable instead of just hearing audio and stuff like that. Now, I'm totally not uh, adverse to somebody coming on here audio only because not everybody has a webcam or not everybody feels comfortable coming on a webcam, even if they have one. Okay. But me, since I'm heading up these streams, I personally feel like I should be on cam. But I'm not on here to express any elaborate emotions. I'm not on here because I think I look hot. I am just on here just to entertain and talk about movies or do these watch alongs or whatever. Um, Rooster, you say that sure does look like the poltergeist clown. Yeah, exactly. Um, oh, that's okay, Texas. I didn't mind giving you the timestamp. Um, you're ahead a little bit. Well, that's okay, Rooster. Sometimes that happens. Uh, and I think I have found whenever I switch back and forth between the movie on YouTube or whatever I'm watching on, and I switch back to the chat, that I don't know, that it pauses the movie or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it really doesn't, but it seems like it does. So they are hearing I don't know if there's subtitles on here. Yeah, I guess there is. I don't know how good of subtitles they are, but anyway, if you are watching this with the audio or you have seen this with the audio, you know that the reason why they're looking so concerned here is because they heard something really eerie. A guy just, coming out of dead air or white noise or whatever you want to call it, that's saying, who are you? What do you want? And then he screams. So this is going to start the mystery of them traveling to the house where Henrietta and her family were 20 years ago. And so she's telling her boyfriend, Paul, to please turn it off. Basically, she's heard enough of it. So they're trying to find out where the radio transmitter or where this radio signal is coming from. And keep in mind, guys, this was in the early days of this kind of stuff. Um, so I'm not even sure if theoretically they could do that, but it's a movie, so yeah, Rooster, that ain't that the truth. There's always got to be a hater. Well, thank you for saying the hat looks fine to you. And I tried to explain to them the last time they commented that I feel like the hat is part of who I am on these streams. I am the Evil Dead chick. Um, and I don't really think of it as a gimmick, so to speak, but it has become for me part of who I am. Just like Garrett, he has his headbands or whatever. Um, and I see other people wearing hats and bandanas and headbands and all kinds of things. And I can see myself on this film, on this stream. Now I'm looking at myself. You can see my eyes, you can see my nose, you can see my mouth. I mean, what else do you need to see, honestly? Um, Texas say, geez, that poor woman getting killed by that guy who came out of the mirror. Yeah. Well, thank you, Texas. You say, don't worry about the goof, just block them. I guess I am going to have to downright block them because evidently what they are saying, hold on here. I don't want to get off of the Ghosthouse movie. You guys might not care either way what this person was saying, but evidently they have been watching my videos for a while, including before I had the hat. And they basically said, actually, no, Evil Dead chick, I've been watching your videos before you had your hat on, and before you had your hat on, there were more emotions and more things that could be gotten from your expression. They wrote a long ass thing here. With your hat on, you've only made several videos, so it's not actually part of who you are online. Good Lord, people, get your own channel and do your own thing. It's just some new thing that you've been doing. That new thing that you've been doing takes away from the quality of your videos. They were better when you showed your full face, because without the full face, it's harder to concentrate. That hat takes up almost half the frame. Your response would be understandable if you had been wearing the hat in every video of all time. But like I said, it's actually only fairly recently. No, not actually. And you guys know this. So, yeah, that person's probably going to be blocked. Yeah, you're probably right, X-Ray. Good point. You said word of advice are going to keep trolling if you keep acknowledging them, Dana. You're giving them what they want. And you're right. I just get a little agitated because if people want to do things their way, then why don't they, because this person, I checked out their channel. They have a channel with no videos on it. So basically, like what I was telling Steve was, and I know X-Ray, I'm giving them more attention. So to me, their sole purpose of having a channel is not to do their own thing. It's just to annoy other people that are doing their own thing. So yeah, this is probably the last I'm going to say about this person, because you are exactly right, X-Ray. that I'm giving them exactly what they want, and it's attention, and it's gonna um after this stream, this is going to be the last I talk about this person. But I am going to put their name out here because uh they're listed as Laura Barnsley. So watch out for Laura Barnsley, sorry, because she's evidently a troll, or it could be a he. You don't know. You don't know online who's who or what's what and all that stuff. But anyway, um, well, thank you, Blissful. You say Dana hats like yours is very in style, and you look great in yours. Well, thank you, Blissful. I don't think it takes up half the frame either. I mean, sometimes I have my head down. I don't know if they're watching these things on their phone or what they're watching them on, but that person is the only person that has ever complained about that stuff. So anyway, hey Darren. Darren, you see, you must be doing something right to get a troll. Ignore them. Yeah, they're just annoying. But I'm gonna take all of y'all's advice and just block them and ignore them and move on. Um, I need to just not let that stuff bother me and just do my own thing. And because it's exactly what X-Ray said. I'm giving them attention, which is one thing they want. I'm getting annoyed and agitated, which is probably the second thing they want. Um, and if I ignore them long enough, they'll move on to somebody else and leave me the hell alone. Yeah, it's that same person that was complaining about my hat um, originally, Darren, and now they're saying that I only had the hat on recently. It's like, what are you doing, stalking me? You know? But yeah, they do need to get a life. It's very sad when people do that. Um, when was this person's account made? Um, I don't even know. How do you find? I don't even know how you find that out, Blissful. Um, doesn't it say somewhere? Um, I was thinking we're gonna get back to the movie, guys. I promise. Probably will tell me if I go to. They joined November 22nd, 2022. So I'm guessing that's how long they've had their channel. X-Ray, you say, don't they know you're married to Steve, the man who stormed the beaches of Normandy? Yes, Darren, that is the plan that we will do the Euro Cult podcast tomorrow night. Steve and I watched the movie today together. So we're all good to go on that. Or we should be anyway. So anyway, back to the movie. Paul and his girlfriend, Martha, I think her name is, have made it to the house where this signal was coming from. And they met up with a group of people, including this guy here that is talking to Paul and Martha. Um, he's like, I don't understand. They made a cassette tape and they played it back for him. He said, well, the one voice sounds like me. The other voice of the girl screaming, it is sounds like my sister Tina. Um, and I don't know why somebody would set up a ham radio in some old abandoned house, but you know, again, don't try to make sense of it all. It's just better if you just watch it. Uh, so I don't know how many of you guys have seen Ghost House before. That I was kind of wondering you know, if there are several of you in here that have not seen it before, what you think of it, and even what you think of it if you've already seen it. Um, I'm just always curious about that. So another thing, and here's some more of the glass containers like getting ready to explode. We see this several times in the movie. But what I was going to say is you're going to see some, in my opinion, unique deaths in this movie. So I really, again, wouldn't call it a terrible Italian movie. And now I'd forgotten about the head in the washing machine, so that's great too. Now, here is the introduction basically to Tina, the younger sister of the main guy that was talking to Paul and Martha. She is super annoying. If anybody has to be annoying in this, the character of Tina is super annoying. Martha is a little bit annoying because she goes back and forth between being lovey-dovey with Paul, crying around like she is now. Um, I know something bad happened, but she's just like, and there was a head in the washing machine. I get it. But the way she's acting is a little bit overkill. And she also goes back and forth between being really agreeable with Paul and, being a proper girlfriend. And then she will get all bitchy with him just all of a sudden. So again, she is slightly annoying, but Tina, in my opinion, is really annoying. Um, Darren, you say, I've seen Ghost House probably 4 times in the last 2 months. I like it, but I don't love it. I don't need it, playing. I know it by heart. I would say if you've seen it 4 times in the last 2 months, Darren, you probably don't need it playing. So, I'm thinking that this must be the HD, an HD copy of this movie because this is definitely the best looking copy of it. And here's more of Tina being super, super annoying. She's basically like pissing everybody off. She's almost, but not quite as bad as Franklin on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and she's not in a wheelchair. But she, she's another one of those annoying sibling characters. And this guy, I believe, is the caretaker for the cemetery. And this movie is also definitely a late 80s movie. You can just tell by the fashions and all that. These people got a lot of heavy duty equipment for the time period. And this guy is talking about, we shouldn't have come here. And the other guy's like, well, you're just freaked out because it's an empty house, and empty houses are always creepy. So here's a scene where Martha is being kind of bitchy. She's like, this is so boring. It's 4 minutes after 11. But now something's happening in the RV. Oh, there's that creepy girl and that creepy clown doll again. And the way that girl looks is just so freakish. I must have stole that from Fulci. Got her bleeding from her eyes. So now the RV is rocking and rolling. I just wonder if they had some, like, for those interior shots, I wonder if they just had some big, heavy duty, like, grip type guys, like, just shaking this RV. And believe it or not, um, Rift Tracks did a Rift Tracks for Ghosthouse. The Rift Tracks guys did. It was good. Oh boy. This does not bode well, this big fan here. It's strangely not plugged into anything, but it's still going. Oh, there's the girl with the doll. Now he's saying, "Who are you? What do you want? Uh, for God's sakes, somebody help me." So I'm not sure why he's saying that at that point, but that is what Paul heard on his ham radio at the apartment. So that blade came off there and basically cut his throat. So now Tina's seeing the creepy girl and the creepy doll. Oh, she sees her brother. Now she's screaming. So now they're going to go. They were a little bit further away from the house, so they've got to go back to the house to see what's going on. Oh, there's a Doberman there, guys. Oh, she disappeared. Now there's this crazy caretaker. He's planning on using that meat cleaver on Tina. That dog must be a ghost too. Richie, you said, I take that back about the clown. It looks like a low budget clown. Listen says, Rooster, that clown is creepy. LOL. Guys, again, this is not a super long movie. I mean, it's an hour and 31 minutes, but compared with movies coming out now, or a lot of the movies coming out now, this is really short. So they found Jim. Rooster, I'm guessing you're right about Uncle Bill. He was a drive-by. Because he hasn't said any more um, except for that one comment. So I know I didn't have it, I wasn't looking at the movie when they picked up the hitchhiker that kind of likes to play pranks all the time, but I was just curious what you guys thought of the hitchhiker. Was he just annoying or did you like him? Because I believe he's going to show up again. Now, I know when we talked to Dirk about this movie, or I talked to Dirk about this movie, I know he had said that it sounded like, and he was like me, that it sounds like when that song is playing, when the little girl and the clown doll shows up, that it sounds like, are you there? Are you dead? Are you there? But it's actually, I don't know if they've said it yet, but they say it's burial, something about burial, which Henrietta's family, the father was, like I said, he was like a mortician or something of the sort. And so that ties in with the burial thing. And I will agree um, that this movie is not for everybody. Um, Me personally, I've always found this movie to be enjoyable each time I watch it, and I thought that it would be a good idea for a watch along. Because those of you that don't think it's, enjoyable can at least make fun of it on here, right? Now, evidently, this must be Henrietta's old room. Well, it looks like somebody left their Easter decorations in there. So she's found the picture of Henrietta. And oh man, there's that damn clown doll. Who in their right mind would want to give a kid that? That's kind of creepy and kind of hilarious at the same time when the jagged teeth show up in its mouth. Bliss, what you say, there's a distinctive lack of Aquanet in this movie. Exactly. So this shot here where things are flying around in the room definitely looks like a poltergeist type of shot as well. Oh no. Again, this is similar to poltergeist. Because the clown doll in the kids' room does attack the little boy. And Paul comes in there and he's like, "Are you hurt?" And it's like, yeah, she was screaming like a mad woman. Oh no, it's not there now. So this scene here, where you've got an ambulance and cops, and they're bringing the dead out. A lot of movies would end on a scene like this, and they might have one last stinger at some point. But this movie does it a little bit differently. We have this scene, but we're only about 45 minutes into the movie, 44, 45 minutes into the movie, which means we've got about another 45 minutes. So we know from looking at that timestamp that this movie is not going to be over for another 45 minutes. So the cops talking about a crime that happened 20 years ago, a double murder, a husband and wife. And he was going to finish that up, but he got called away. So now he's coming back. So they found him butchered in May of 1967. But they didn't find the murderer, and they said the little girl died, 11-year-old Henriette. And then they found her down in the cellar. She was locked in and she was dead. They found no marks on her, no sign of violence. And since then, they said the house has been closed up and left just the way it was because nobody wanted to live there. And I can't blame them. And the cop does bring up a good point. But of course, if they weren't trespassing, then there would be no movie. But he basically tells them if you kids hadn't been trespassing, then this stuff would have never happened. you, you are right about that, Darren. You say, Blissful, there's a distinct lack of acting ability in this movie. I will agree. So I think this is one of the little petty, or in my opinion, petty arguments that Paul and Martha have. So Paul tells the other two that they, along with Tina, should leave. And of course, this is one of the stupid things that people do in horror movies is they continue to hang around. And they continue to hang around until nightfall, basically. Um, and again, if they had left at this point, there would be no movie, unless, Paul and Martha came back and, something happened to them. But so basically, Paul is playing the music, and Martha's being a little bitchy here. And she says, "Why don't you forget what the words to the damn song are?" Um, and he's saying, the voices that we heard on the ham radio it made no logical sense. Now he's talking about Jack the Ripper. Darren, you said one thing Lindsay did get right with this film was atmosphere and location shooting. Yes, I totally agree with that too. Blissful, you say my grandparents' house had bay windows like that house. Ooh, man. So I think at this point, around this time, is when he figures out it's saying burial. Um, and he's soon going to get a little bit more information. So he's asking the lieutenant what Sam Baker did for a living, and that was Henrietta's father. So they actually look like they're getting ready to get the hell out of Dodge, basically. And here's Tina doing a very stupid thing. of kind of creeping around here. You would think she would not want to be in that house again. Okay, so here's the hitchhiker showing back up again, playing more pranks. This guy is slightly annoying. So he's looking for a place to spend the night because he froze his buns off the night before. And I just was noticing this. He's got a Mr. Good bar, a chocolate bar. Now, what does that make you guys think of? I know what it makes me think of. It makes me think of Joey from Friday 5. Um, when Friday 5 had already been released by this point in time, by 1988. So, they may have taken that. Darren, you say you could do a lot worse than Ghosthouse. It's definitely a fun watch. Oh, yeah. But, we can make fun of things like the bad acting and the ridiculous things that go on in this movie, as with a lot of horror movies, both past and present. So this guy, I think he says his name is Pepe, which is weird for the racial persuasion of this guy. Perhaps it's a nickname. So, dude, I wouldn't be eating anything that I find in that house. And that is one big reason why you don't go messing around in food that's been there for like 20 years. And he hopes this is real silver, so he's just taking it. So we're almost an hour into the movie, and I feel like, it's moved pretty fast. Like Darren says, it's definitely a fun watch. Don't get too relaxed there, bub. That's all I'm going to say. So, Paul and Martha are back in Boston, supposedly. And they're going to the Gaffey funeral home. That looks strangely like some stick on letters that somebody put up there. Very neatly, I might add, but okay, so they left Boston and went to wherever this funeral home is. And so she's angrily sitting in the vehicle, and before he went in the funeral home, he said, you haven't said anything since we left Boston. And she's just kind of sitting over there fuming. She's not um, making any attempt to discuss anything with Paul. Um, this kind of reminds me of City of the Living Dead with the funeral home scenes there. And he was saying how she looked alive there. No, I don't think so, buddy. She didn't look alive to me. So this guy used to work for Sam Baker, and he said he took over the company after his death. Um, so Paul's wanting to know, there's a cemetery near the house, and so the funeral home director is basically saying, yeah, well, Sam, you know, he basically didn't approve of some of his practices. He used to take little things from the deceased, um, like a locket or a necklace or a pin, something small like that. So Paul says, can you recall any particular object? So then he's remembering what something that happened just before Sam Baker died, and he and this other guy had a argument over a clown doll that he took from the deceased and took to his little girl. There's that creepy guy watching again. So this guy's going back to taking care of the dead, and oh no, there's this guy. He's like, you better get out of here because basically the cops are looking for him. So now he's attacking the funeral home director. Uh oh. This does not look good. So the funeral home director is no more, I would say. Well, he's kind of halfway there right now, but I think something nefarious is going to happen to him. Oh no, he's putting him in the casket and closing him up in it. That would be my nightmare. That makes me claustrophobic just thinking about it. So the doctor is basically telling the lieutenant he's never seen a case like this. So he's done autopsies on the young people that died at the house. So the doctor's saying the wound appears to be a clean incision, no torn tissues, no bruises, and the blade severed the artery on an upward angle coming from below. So he says that the boy could not have been killed by a blow from someone using the fan as a weapon. The only hypothesis is one of the fan blades broke off while it was running, and then that centrifugal force sent it flying through the air. So The lieutenant's not willing to believe this because evidently he's a man really steeped in logic, and he's, any of the supernatural stuff he's not going to go for. So they're also bringing up Salem witch trials as Fulci City of the Living Dead brought up as well. Things about Salem witch trials and witch burning and all of that. So in a way, this movie, it has some similarities, not some, shot for shot similarities, no doubt, to City of the Living Dead, but maybe some themes. So now she's telling them about the hitchhiker guy, and they're thinking she's, like the boy that cried wolf again. So he's going to go back in the house. And he's saying, basically, there's nobody in there. So Mark's telling her to go back in the RV and watch some television. So they've already been here way past a time frame that normal people would still be staying at this house. But again, if somebody didn't, this movie would be way, way short. Guys, I'm going to step away just a second and grab something real quick. I'm going to leave the movie running, of course. So here's Tina stupidly going back in the house because she's convinced that the hitchhiker kid is in here. So now Mark's going to take off on his bike. I think he's got to fill up the gas tank. And so he's going to leave them alone. He says, I'll be back. And for her to watch out for Tina. Oh man, the days of Walkmans, guys. You remember that, right? So everybody keeps deciding they're going to go back in the stupid house. Yeah, everybody goes in spooky old houses and just says, "Where are you? Come out and let me see you." So I'm really not sure if she's talking to the little ghost girl or the hitchhiker. So that's kind of gruesome. Yeah, this is so smart. Go back in the house like you've got dirt or something on you or ash, and you're holy cow. Tina just got cut in half. So that's the end of Tina. So if you were annoyed by her, you now no longer have to worry about her. Meanwhile, stupid shit. Why is there still running water in this place? That's another good question. Because if nobody has lived in this house for 20 years, maybe that's why there's running water. So we could do this blood gag here. We've seen this done numerous times in horror movies, right? Oh no. So she's seeing Tina again. Damn. I thought Tina was done. There's something weird about Tina here. Oh no. That's not Tina, it's that creepy ass clown doll. That whom's to disappear and reappear at will. Leslie, so is she listening to Kenny G? I guess anything's possible. Um, I think Texas says the guy in the denim jacket borrowed Blissful's moose. So she's trying to get a hold of Mark. And I think this is actually the cemetery caretaker that the funeral director told Paula to go speak to, Mr. Harvey, who was evidently trying to take a cat nap there. And okay, so it is now dark, and Mark has finally gotten his ass back here. So Martha's saying that their lives are in danger, and oh no, there's that creepy psycho guy again. It's almost like it appears that they're shooting day for night here. In Texas, you say, I always conveniently find a skeletal arm on every staircase I go to. Let's what you say. Denim jacket guy was indeed born to be mild. That's that is beautiful. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this little movie here. This guy's so slow, it's a wonder he can find anybody. Um, Maybe he's like Jason, though, he can teleport. He's also got a series of very dangerous weapons. So Mr. Harvey is basically saying that this stuff has been going on for 20 years since Sam Baker and his wife and Henrietta evidently were killed. Yes, that was a great cut in half scene. I did like that scene. But something funny about that, and I probably should have brought it up when it happened, was um, the fact that uh, when it was doing the wide shot, it looked like her Tina's legs were way, way too far away, away from her torso. So that was a little weird, but other than that. Yeah, fruit punch in the bathroom sink, right? Exactly. So Mark is evidently unable to find anybody. He can't find Susan. Um, he can't find Tina. And basically, too, they did what all people in horror movies do that they shouldn't do, and they split up. And Paul's looking for Martha. So Martha has discovered Henrietta's grave. So here we're seeing this obviously dead looking hand carrying a potential weapon. So these shots of like a dead hand carrying weapons sort of reminds me of House by the Cemetery as well. when you would see Freudstein um, holding weapons. Oh no, crazy psycho guy's either been hung or hung himself. That's right, Blissful. Of all times to be wearing a white cardigan. Ooh, dang, there's a spider. I would be more freaked out by that spider than anything. So he found Susan's Walkman. He also found the fruit punch blood in the sink. So, oh man, there's that girl again. And she got, looks like a triangle of candles around her. Oh no. There's Tina. Uh oh. And now he's fell into some kind of, well, it looks like the cellar. And then I'm guessing this is acid of some sort. It looks sort of like milk, but I'm thinking it's supposed to be acid. Something that's going to burn his skin off. So Susan is still alive, creeping around this house. Liz, what you say? He's been through all this and his hair is still perfectly feathered. Yeah, exactly. Been riding that motorcycle and everything. I think this is probably the most unperfect his hair has been in the whole movie. Uh oh. Whose hand is that? Is that Mark's? Maybe? Ah, there's the hitchhiker guy. He's been hiding out in the closet all this time. And Mark's still trying to make his way out of there. So, what's going to happen here really soon? It's also something that has happened in a lot of horror movies. Margaret's stumbling around, can't really see or anything. She hears something coming or someone coming, and she's got a weapon. So, what do we think's going to happen here? Oh, damn. Can she tell that's Mark by that point in time? I mean, you see the damn jean jacket. Now she screams. So, what are they drinking? Whiskey? Definitely shooting day for night here, guys. So, I believe that Paul has found Henrietta's crypt or whatever. And Susan has seen the ghostly Doberman again. Great girl. Like, wall yourself up in Henrietta's room. That's smart. Now that now the creepy girl is smiling, which makes it even worse. So here is a very maggot-ridden corpse with a knife. And meanwhile, Paul has found Henrietta's immaculate corpse. It looks like, and she's holding the hand of this damn clown doll. So, oh, what is he gonna do? I guess he's gonna burn her corpse up, right? And that's what you do, right? When evil little kids come back from the dead with their evil clown dolls. Looking a little worse there. Better hurry up and throw that match in, Paul. There we go. And it made everything disappear. Burn, baby, burn, right? So now the cops have returned, as well as the ambulance people, and they're getting the rest of the bodies out. So poor Susan is going to have to end up leaving this place alone because everybody else is dead except Paul and Martha. So he's saying you'll never see Henrietta again. How can he be sure? Now they're all being lovey-dovey again. So everything's supposed to be back to normal, right? And who is Martha waiting for? Oh no, there's that clown doll. And Paul's getting ready to cross the street. He's yelling over at Martha. Oh, damn. It's those sharp teeth. Oh, it says it's okay for him to walk, but bam. So that concludes Ghosthouse. And I don't know if everybody was all completely synced up. Texas says he's told your moose, I'm sure of it. Blissful, you say Texas is the magic of Aquanet. And Texas said, there's no Aquanet there. You said so yourself. Blissful, you said they're using home improvement tools all wrong in this movie. Exactly. Texas, you say he got the whole Mike Reno and Loverboy look down. Yes, he does. Blissful, you say, I wonder if I burn a picture of the Kardashians, would they disappear? I don't know. If that turns out to be true, let me know, Blissful, because there's some other people that I'd probably want to disappear, or at least I didn't have to see them anymore or hear them. So, guys, what did you think? What did you guys think of Ghost House? And I can't remember, was this anybody's first viewing of Ghost House that was in here tonight? Thanks for coming by, Rooster. You say thanks, Dana. Good watch. Bye bye, everybody. You have a good night, Rooster. Oh, Curly Josh, you said my documentary about my life comes out tonight for purchase, $8. It's really fun to make. Cool, old Curly Jaws. I guess I missed where maybe you were talking about that. Oops, sorry, Texas. Sometimes that happens. Um, I hope I hope I didn't ruin anything for you with it. So, Blissful, you say this was a first watch for you? Oh, damn. Texas, you say it was my first time. So I definitely sorry about that. Blissful, you're right. That is awesome. Oh, Curly Jaws is really, taking off and going onward and upward. So I think it is awesome. So I will probably stay on here for another 3 more minutes and get off here about 9:10. Um, Amazingly enough, we still have 7 people in here. Um, I'm sure not all those people are chatting, but that's okay. That is not something that I expect everybody to do, because some people aren't interested in chatting. They just want to come in here and watch along with the movie or just see what's going on, and that is okay with me. Um, but I hope everybody enjoyed this tonight. I'm also trying to give Texas enough time to finish up the movie. Um, Again, Texas, I'm sorry we got kind of out of kind of out of sync there. Um, but unfortunately, that happens from time to time. I think every watch along I've done or participated in, it's happened. Some people have been a few seconds to a few minutes not synced up. You have a great night too, Darren, and I'll be talking to you tomorrow. So I got a couple more minutes on here before I get off for the night. You just saw the bus accident, so yeah, you made it to the end. Texas, you survived the awesomeness that is Ghost House. Like I said, I really hope everybody had a good time in here tonight. That it was a fun little time waster where we could kind of forget our troubles and stuff like that. And I promise I am not going to mention this trolling person, but I am going to try to figure out how to block them, because I'm just muting their notifications is not keeping them from commenting. So I'm going to try a different tactic, because I just don't, honestly, I don't need that static. And if somebody's sole purpose is to just go around trolling and making silly comments like that over, live streams, I mean, I'm not monetized. I'm not making any money from this. And I'm only doing these things as entertainment purposes only. There's no other reason why I'm doing these. So, I just want to have fun. I don't want to read asinine comments like that on my videos talking about asinine things. Um, there's enough real things to worry about without somebody just trying to purposely aggravate me. Yeah, exactly, blissful. Exactly. And I'm doing exactly what I ought to do, and that's giving them recognition. That's giving them attention. They are evidently attention whores, and that is the way they get attention. People talk about them on their streams, and it's like, oh boy, somebody's talking about me. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're talking negatively about them or not. But this particular person, it's going to stop right now, or it's going to stop with this stream. So, person who shall not be named from this point on, if you're watching this and getting your jollies um, of hearing me talk about you and how super annoying you are with your comments, it's not going to happen anymore. You can leave comments until you're blue in the face, and I'm not going to talk about them because it's just ridiculous. And I don't have the time or the patience to entertain your asinine thoughts. So I just don't care anymore. If I can figure out a way to block you, I will. If I can't, I'm just going to ignore you from here on out. So there. That's all that needs to be said about that. And yes, it's ridiculous and I don't need it. Yeah, is exactly right. And on that note, guys, it is now 9:12, and I went 2 minutes after I said I would already be off here. But I want to thank each and every one of you that was in the chat tonight. Um, I had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time. Um, again, just a reminder that I am planning on being on Curly Jaws' stream Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So that means that I will not be doing a stream that night. But if you guys want to see my lovely face, you can catch me over on Curly Jaws' channel. Tuesday, another Hitchcock stream, probably be the final Hitchcock stream with Kelly and I. Wednesday, I haven't a clue. I don't know if I'm going to do anything at this point. Thursday will be the final original series run stream for Twin Peaks. Again, I don't know if Uncle Bill's going to be able to be on there. I would hope that he could be. Maybe several people could be on there. I would love that. Okay, so that's what's coming up Thursday. Uh, Friday probably won't do anything, as I usually don't do things on Fridays. But April 22nd's watch along will be for He Knows You're Alone, the movie that Uncle Bill says is like watching old people eat. But we're going to try to make it fun, okay? It has the debut of Tom Hanks in a movie, okay? How can it be all bad? I don't think it can be. So, thank you, Bliss. Will you say, Dana, this was fun? Thank you. Well, you're very welcome. I enjoyed doing it. Texas, you say it was fun, Dana. I enjoyed it, and it was Blissful's first watch along. I love it that you guys are, you're taking part and you're participating. You're participating in a way that you still feel comfortable, and that is great to me. I love it. I sometimes I think, and I promise I'm going to get off here. I sometimes think if I didn't have these streams to do, that's why I hate to feel so bad that I can't do them. As far health issues and anxiety issues, and all that good stuff. So sometimes I will have them even though I'm feeling less than great, just because I want to power on through and I want to do something fun. And I want to have fun with you guys, you know, and that is important to me, you know. And there are other things that are important to me too, but this is a hobby that is also important to me, and I want to make the best of it for as long as I can make the best of it. Texas, you say you saw it in a dollar theater eons ago? Wow. Yeah, like I said, the first time I saw it was in my video rental days, and I found a copy at a video rental store. But that VHS copy was so muddy and so dark that was hard to see any of the great, in my opinion, effects in it. Okay, with that being said, I am going to skedaddle on out of here for the night, and I will see everyone on the flip side. Y'all have a good night now.